Well, we're back in the Battlefield 2042 glass-breaking factory, and man, it's a bit of a shock going back to this game after playing Battlefield 6. I'll be talking all about that, but most importantly in this video, we have to talk about the brand new surprise update that was data mined a little bit before by Temporal, but it ended up being real. Somehow, some way, they are still producing content for Battlefield 2042, and I do have to give my props to them up front that they timed this right at the end of the Battlefield 6 beta, and they're giving us some really cool Battlefield 6 rewards in this new 2042 update, which includes some things that I have some things to say about the new map. But anyway, we have a lot of things to cover in this video. As always, if you do want to follow Battlefield games, particularly Battlefield 6, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to hit the like button. Helps the video out. Thank you to everyone that does that. And of course, swing by a stream. Stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. First link in the description. All right, let's start going over the new stuff in this update. I'm going to cover all the new stuff first, and then I'll cover my experience going from BF6 to 2042 later in the video. I'll start off by mentioning the most relevant thing to Battlefield 6 first. There was a brand new free battle pass added within this update that has unlocks for Battlefield 6. If you want them, you're gonna have to play 2042 and upgrade the battle pass. And when they say free, they actually really do mean free. You don't have to pay for anything with this battle pass, which I definitely commend them for. That's very cool. I have a feeling people would be very upset if there were Battlefield 6 unlocks in this battle pass and they had to pay for it. A lot of the things you can unlock in this battle pass are inspired by BF1, BF5, Battlefield Bad Company 2, BF3, and Battlefield 4. So if you want those BF6 unlocks, you better get to play in Battlefield 2042's new update, I suppose. The other massive thing in this update is they had a new map added to the game. I honestly can't believe they're still adding maps to Battlefield 2042. The map choice is a bit strange, in my opinion. They added Iwo Jima. Yes, Iwo Jima from Battlefield 5. They sort of did a 2042 take on it, changed a few areas, but it's more or less the same layout. I have to be honest, I played this map today and I was losing my mind, particularly on Breakthrough. On Conquest, it was a lot better. If you guys are looking for a pretty large map to play on, Iwo Jima is definitely going to satisfy that. This map is quite large. You can spend probably over 2 minutes running from one end of the map to the other. So if you want vehicles, if you want a real big Battlefield map experience, this map I think delivers it to you in Battlefield 2042. Touching on why I think Breakthrough on this map is an absolute nightmare, I'll just start off with the fact that the first 2, maybe even 3 sectors for the defending team are damn near unplayable. And I don't like to call things unplayable very often, but I'm pretty damn serious when I say that. So the attacking team gets 5 or maybe even 6 Mavs. And if you know what a Mav is, it can spawn your entire team in one location, and there are fucking 6 of them. On top of, I believe, 2 transport helicopters, and if that wasn't enough, the attacking team gets an attack helicopter or a stealth helicopter. In my experience playing Breakthrough on Iwo Jima, you basically just roll them up until about the 4th or 5th sector, and then maybe you grind a little bit past that, and then the whole map takes a complete turn, and suddenly the defenders have the massive overwhelming advantage in the very last sector that feels almost impossible to break through on. I had multiple 200 kill games, and we still couldn't take the last sector on Breakthrough. Reason being is the attackers, like I mentioned, kind of roll you. You hit that last sector, then suddenly the attackers are funneled into multiple very narrow choke points, and there are 32 defending players on the point, and the defending spawn is right next to the point. So even if you kill a bunch of people, they respawn and they're right next to it. It just felt almost impossible to take. In the one game I did win attack on this map on, we essentially took the last sector before the enemy team was allowed to set up on the point. I'm sorry, but if that is the win condition, this sector sucks ass. Now, in terms of other things that this update added, they added some new weapons, most notably the F2000. I'm not calling it the fucking KFS 2000. It's the F2000. That's what everyone knows it by. So that's an assault rifle. You can unlock that. Then there's a semi-automatic anti-material rifle they added called the Lynx. Apparently, if you played the Battlefield 6 open beta, you got this for free, but I played the BF6 open beta, and I didn't have it unlocked in-game. Maybe this is a bug, maybe I will randomly unlock it later down the line, but it could be bugged. You may have trouble actually receiving this weapon. Although, maybe it's not that big of a deal. I heard from my Twitch chat that the Lynx is actually kind of a massive piece of shit. Now, the new vehicles they added are interesting as well. They added the A-10 Warthog and the Su-25TM Frogfoot, which are, of course, attack jets that are very well known from previous Battlefield games. These jets are now available in the all-out warfare mode, which is the base game, and they are configured to be, quote, vehicle busters. So if you're in a tank, you better watch out for these air-to-ground vehicles. And in terms of the update itself, that appears to be it. I looked all over and I could not find a changelog or patch notes for this update. So I'm just going to assume that this is a straight up content drop and nothing else. Now, in terms of going from BF6 to 2042, it's about as miserable as you would expect. 2042, I'm just not even going to beat around the bush, feels like fucking dog shit compared to BF6. The game feels absolutely horrible. It is truly shocking. And don't get me wrong, I already knew that, right? Like, I consciously play 2042 knowing this game feels horrible, right? That's not a surprise. I've complained about it throughout the entire life cycle of the game. It's just the immediate shock of going from BF6, where the mouse input works and things feel relatively locked in comparison to 2042, and then getting smacked in the face with crazy engine latency and just the wonk and the mush of 2042. The movement being imprecise and, you know, just how 2042 is as a game. The other thing that really hit me in the face was just how different the aesthetic of 2042 is compared to BF6. I had people in my Twitch chat ask me, you know, why does this game look like Play-Doh? Why does this game look like it's half melted? Where are the textures? Why does this game look like Roblox? Why does this game look like a knockoff of another game? So I think it's safe to say the community sentiment surrounding Battlefield 2042 really hasn't changed over the years. People take one look at this game and really just don't even consider it to be a Battlefield game or something interesting to play on. And I'm not going to harp on Battlefield 2042 too much more, but, you know, it is what it is. We all know how this game is. I can confidently say that I am strongly considering just entering cryo sleep until October 10th. You know, like some Han Solo shit, freeze me in a wall in a funny position for fucking however long, 2 months, and then I'll wake up. But kudos to DICE, they deserve them in this particular situation. The timing of this update is great. It is a surprise update. We didn't really ask for this, but they gave it to us anyway. There's a new map, and there's new stuff for us to do, and there's new Battlefield 6 stuff for us to unlock. So that's definitely cool and very welcome in my opinion. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, swing by stream, first link in the description, and of course, drop a like on this video. It really helps it out. Let me know your thoughts on going between BF6 and 2042. I am very interested to hear how your experience is. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.